entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now Nelson throwing on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for second down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Looking to throw. Nelson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this one is right through. Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Back to throw. Nelson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Fighting through pressure. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Set to throw is Nelson, operating from the gun. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll set up a throw. And Davis with it left side. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Leopard. Leopard. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. Caught right side, Davis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Nelson looking to throw on 2nd down. Incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Nelson. From the gun, he'll throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Nelson now on 1st down. It's caught left side by Cooks. 23 yards on the play.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Nelson throwing again on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll go with the keeper. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They get it to him running left. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. He'll look to throw. Quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Right back to him on 1st down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Nelson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Set to throw is Nelson. Off the play fake. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not that.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He'll drop to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty. Nelson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Lucky 56.
Here's Nelson throwing on 3rd and long. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 319. 319.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Nelson now to throw on second down. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point now by Boswell.
Touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here come the Lions now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there for Detroit. And even 60 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ronald Jones taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, whatever the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Motion, motion, motion.
They're going to look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kevin Byard, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Nelson, off play action. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Falcons on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 11. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense.
This is caught at the 20. It's a big play there for the Lions. 61 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.